Tigers, Signs of Times by Toby Milwee. It is January 22nd, 26th. It's a nice Thursday morning. Remember the day, finally. This morning I woke up and I got up at 5. Somewhere there, 5:30. I looked and by the time I got my shoes on and stuff, got down there, used the bathroom in town here, and about 6, I think, somewhere in there. So anyways, I scooted the phone all the way over to where Google has its, I don't have no data, right? So I scooted the phone over to where I can read stuff, just the headlines. It's kind of like on the phone already. You go all the way to the far left, I guess it would be. Well, everybody's talking about the weather, man. The guy just came in here at McDonald's and, just getting his coffee, and he's like, hey, man, the winter's here finally. Everybody's talking about it. And I've seen 60 below zero weather going on in Minneapolis. And I already knew that was going to happen. I'd seen what happened with the last storm system, and I actually got that from the Weatherman Plus channel with Mark here on YouTube. I watch his stuff, and it's real blunt, it's real quick, and he goes right across the country, you know what I mean? And it's about the best I can do. And stuff's hitting. I guess it snowed in Florida and Texas again, huh? It was actually, I looked at the phone, I woke up, it was 6 degrees. It ain't that bad. Oh, the card incident. I have a little cocktail waitress. It's kind of a young one, and she's cute, friendly, really friendly. Born and raised here in Belgrade. And Aiden, if you saw her, there'd be no more Yogi or baby's mama, okay? But I know the Montana thing when we were in Idaho. Was I had feelings for Montana. We partied a lot together, man. But I know you was like, does she have gauges? And I could tell that you weren't really impressed with her. But there's dynamite on the block for you, man. And she shot me her schedule yesterday. She goes, I work tomorrow and da. I said, okay. So me and Natalie's gonna go see her tonight. I gave her that card, man. She has an address and ID and shit. I told her what happened. I said, just take it. Fuck it. I drank way more than $50 worth of beer in that casino. And I said, hey, man, she has something at work, and I don't know, she got kicked off for 3 days for something, and I didn't ask. I said, it wasn't nothing I did, was it? She goes, no. Okay. So the card incident's fixed. And I'm reading in the comments on Ian Carroll. I just watched the video he put up about the 60 below zero stuff. There's a dog right here. The dog doesn't give a shit. I see it in the comments, bring your pets inside and all this and that. It's just fear mongering. And all this credit the government gets for fucking with the weather, man. It's not, it's out of control, the weather, okay? It's not something they can flip a switch and can't handle it no more. And I'm going to stick to my guns on it, and I have stuff posted, man. Watch them freeze their ass, okay? It's going to bite them back. If the White House can get under like 100 below, or, something's going to happen where it's going to be, we could tell, okay? So it's going to be an indicator when you have the blessing, of knowing that, man. It's all these stuff, gas and stuff they put in the air didn't dilute and mix with the air, the atmosphere, okay? It's all created big bubbles, and the storm systems are bigger, and they just can't control it no more, man. It's shit you can't see, okay? Like oil on water, okay? You can see that. This is air, okay? You're not going to be able to see it, man. And all their toys and shit's not going to work right, okay? And you got this, a lot of things going on with the solar system that controls the waves of energy, okay? And I know you're not going to believe that. So the card thing's handled. And I just made a commitment with myself, and me and Natalie, kind of had a discussion. And I said, no more buying gift cards. Done. I don't like the processing fee. I don't like having to have an address, having to have an address to have the permanent card mailed to. I don't like how they steal my fucking money. I don't like how I can't go to the ATM and get my money back that I spent for the card, and I'm done with it. And I have 2 cards, and it was $7.95 the first time. And I was like, man, that's a lot. And I said, well, I'll pay it if I can pay my phone bill. That's fine. I'm not making any money up here on YouTube anyways, man. I ain't made nothing in 4 years, man. And I have the Cash App, that dang tiger. And We can roll with that. Okay, now let's see what the other news did I have. Oh, the Last Friday movie's coming out with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker, man. You know, I'm gonna check that out a little bit. I've been waiting for that for like 10 or 15 years now. I think it's funny. It got some. This guy likes to yell on his phone every morning. We'll see if he'll be quiet. Got to keep going in and out. Make sure you get used to the cold. Yeah, not some of that right there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody agrees. You know, this shit sucks here, man. It's THCA. You know, but I stepped it up. You know, I said screw a $20 eighth. You know, I went ahead and got a pre-roll for like $8. It's 30%, and I got a gram that was 14 or something like that. It's like 33%. I said I'm gonna step it up. And you know, when I go to bed at the end of the day, got me some tobacco yesterday, some papers. You know, and I go to bed and I want to make sure that we're staying up. You know what I mean? And that we're not going to be running out of shit. I mean, we're stocked up. So, you know, I don't know what's going on with the weather, but I do got some coverage yesterday in the morning when the sun came up. And I don't have time to sit around and keep calling that stupid card, you know. And it's suspicious activity, and then it's like, I'm gonna have to talk over that guy. You know, he starts screaming and yelling on his phone. Every morning he does it. I don't really want to waste time screwing around with that. You know, now it's suspicious activity, then it's compromised. You know what? I'll compromise myself to make the commandments and ordinances to make it easier for me and my kid. And what that means is no more card. Done. Done. That's the end of that. Just you're not allowed to use the thing. That's fine. And I'm going to tell you, I'm out here, you know what, you can shadow ban me all you want to. You know what? And I'll keep on talking about it to people, man. I stood over by where I bought the thing at yesterday for like fucking half an hour. In the store, I did. I was waiting for somebody to go up there looking at that. And don't buy any of these. So I gave the lady the receipt and a card, you know. And I said, you're going to have to do something about missing all that work you did. You know, she got gone for a week. And I was like, you know, and she's just so friendly, you know. I turn around, she's standing over my shoulder, you know. She went in yet, you know. She likes playing, you know. She's really friendly. She said, oh, I play this too, you know. I played one of her favorite games for a little bit. I thought it was 17. And let's see, what else have we got going on? And the more colder it gets, the more sentimental people's going to be when you're out panhandling. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nobody up here in this region doing that. I mean, the comments, I mean, it's just crazy. Eon Carroll's got the comments I love more than anything on YouTube, you know. I want to know the people's reaction to, not the video, but the creator as much as the content. Like the weather thing, you know, what's going on with the weather, you know. And I really don't feel like going south all the way down into, damn near Arizona on I-15 before you really get into anything below 4,000 foot. And how much hills and shit do we have to go through to get to that point? I don't know. That's not going to be very easy either, you know what I'm saying? When I worked fast food for over 10 years. There was no taking the food in and out of the building. That was not the condiments thing that they had, like the old tray. That was a fucking no-no, man. Once it leaves, it's gone. It's the same thing as when I worked at Tyson beef packing plants. You know, you never take nothing back uphill because you're causing us. And I worked on the kill floor, I worked in processing, and I worked at 2 different plants in Nebraska, as a matter of fact, in processing and rendering. I was maintenance and rendering at graveyards. I worked on the kill floor in Tyson for over a year, and I worked for a cleaning company at the Tyson plant on the processing side. And all the packaging was written with Asian writing on it. Every single thing that was there. And Oscar Mayer hot dogs was in the rear of the plant. And they ran hearts on Friday. And it would just bleed all of the conveyor belts and everything. The place started flooding with blood, man. It was kind of a cool job, really. I just don't know if I can handle watching that shit, but it made me get hungry. So, the comments, you know, the people's like, The video Ian made, we have people that they're not going to be robbing banks for money no more. That's done. It's all these fucking collectibles getting robbed. Pokemon heist yesterday. And, I know he's what he's leading to say. It's like, wow, he's just changed, There's, people's got to be stealing Pokemon cards now, in New York or whatever. That's pretty nuts. And everybody's giving credit to the government because you think they have a little button to control where it's going to snow and where it's going to warm up, where it's not, and Only thing they have control of is your ass, okay? And they've always had control of your ass. And stop giving them fucking credit until you can prove that they're fucking with it, man. And show me that. Leave a comment. Let's see that, man. Show me where they're such heroes and how they got control of your ass. Okay, that's the only fucking thing they have control of. The weather's totally out of control. People could have yielded 2 crops here this year. No shit. I mean, I would say, I'm not sure what grows this high, but I guess soybeans and stuff, they don't take very long. And you got winter wheat. That's in Nebraska. I learned about that when I was working for a rancher, and it grows in the wintertime. So, snow on it and everything. And bring your animals. One guy in the comments says he's going to bring us chickens and ducks in the house. I seen Luis Santiago do that in Holiday, Florida, when he had his 4 chickens in his house he was renting. Sure, the landlord probably doesn't want his shit, right? He has moved. You have also Marfugel has moved. Okay, you have all these people that have moved on YouTube. I pay attention to all the conspiracy people, man. I know which way they swing their shit, and I'm like, I don't see anybody really doing all that good. Everybody's monetized. South Life, something like that. Southern Life, I think it is. He's a Hispanic fella, I believe. He used to be a gangster, drug addict. And, he's in Florida. And he's like, here it is January in Florida, and there's nobody buying shit or doing nothing. And, I got a video posted yesterday where everybody's he goes, all the people we're seeing, it's just people on break and shit. He goes, these are employees on their break. Everybody's working at idle, man. For a penny. Oops. I mean, for a cent. Because we never made any pennies here. So we have no sense. And that's something, they laugh and make fun of you like a motherfucker, man. And I just hope that you realize it, man. That something's going to happen. Okay, and it's coming. The guy's like, Southern Life, I believe it is, the channel. It's got a yellow icon on it. I got Tupac Machiavelli on my shit. And I'll keep it like that. Because Tiger said, keep it MOB. And I said, okay. So, and the baby's like, you better just, keep an MOB, Dad. And I was like, I know. So, Southern Life, he's up there, he goes, we're shopping in Florida and there's nobody buying nothing. And there's still Christmas lights and shit up all over the place around here, and it's January 22nd today. It's like, man, get all over it. The shit's fake, okay? And it always was. So anyways, we love it. We care about you. And we're out.